In the cold emptiness of space, a lonely planet drifted around a dying star. It had no moon, no light, and no sound. The planet's surface was covered with ruins, broken towers, fallen domes, and metal bones of a forgotten city. For centuries it had remained silent. But one day, the silence broke. Far away, deep inside Earth's orbital research station Horizon 9, a weak transmission appeared on their radar. It was faint, almost like a whisper, an old repeating signal. No one had seen anything like it. The code was not human, and yet it carried a pattern, a cry for help. Commander Ilara Voss, head of the Deep Space Exploration Division, stared at the signal screen. "It's repeating every 6 minutes," her assistant said. Ilara leaned closer. "It's not natural, it's someone calling." The coordinates pointed toward a planet listed long ago as lifeless, Elaris 3. NASA's old records called it a dead rock. But now, something there was awake. Within hours, Earth scientists gathered. The message was ancient, at least 10,000 years old, yet it was still active. A small international crew was formed, a mix of astronauts, scientists, and engineers. Their mission: find the source of the alien signal. The world watched as their ship Odyssey Dawn left orbit and began its journey toward Elaris. Days turned into weeks. The crew spent their nights decoding fragments of the alien message. One of the linguists, Dr. Kimura, noticed something strange. "It's not a warning," she said. "It's a plea." "They were asking for someone to come." "For help?" Ilara asked. Kimura nodded. "Yes, but the message also says, 'Don't forget us.'" When Odyssey Dawn entered orbit around Elaris, the crew saw a planet covered in ash-gray deserts and black mountain ranges. The scanners showed massive structures buried beneath the sand, remains of a once great civilization. They landed near the largest ruin. The air was thin but breathable. As they stepped out, a haunting silence surrounded them. Not even the wind made a sound. Ilara whispered, "It feels like the world itself is holding its breath." They found a massive gate made of crystal and steel, half buried in dust. Strange alien symbols glowed faintly on its surface. When one of the engineers brushed off the sand, the gate lit up for the first time in ages. A pulse of blue light ran across the walls. Something deep underground came alive. The crew followed the glowing symbols down a long corridor. The air felt heavy, and their lights flickered. The deeper they went, the more signs of life they saw. Empty chambers, broken machines, and statues of tall, elegant beings with shining eyes. Dr. Kimura recorded everything. They were advanced. More advanced than us. But why did they vanish? Suddenly a low hum filled the tunnels. A light shimmered at the end of the corridor like a heartbeat. They entered a large circular chamber with a glowing core in the center. It looked like a giant crystal heart, surrounded by floating metal rings. Ilara approached carefully. "This must be their power source," she said. The core began to glow brighter, reacting to her voice. A strange vibration filled the room, and then the signal stopped. For the first time in centuries, Elaris was silent again. "Did we break it?" the engineer asked nervously. Before anyone could answer, the floor vibrated. The air shimmered, and a holographic figure appeared in front of them, a tall, silver-blue shape with no face, only glowing eyes. The voice that spoke was calm, mechanical, and ancient. "Identify yourselves. You are not of Elaris." The crew froze. Ilara stepped forward. "We are from Earth. We received your signal. We came to help." A long silence followed. Then the voice said, "Help? There is no help. There is only memory. Why do you disturb the silence?" Ilara's heart pounded.
"We thought you needed us."
"We thought someone was still alive here." The figure looked around the room slowly. "Alive? Not anymore. They are gone. All gone." Its tone softened, almost like sorrow. "But you are new. You are human," Dr. Kimura whispered. "It knows us." The hologram turned its eyes toward her. "We watched your kind once, long ago." Before the silence, the room fell still. None of them spoke. The alien voice continued, "If you came to learn, then listen. The story of Elaris is not of victory, but of division. We destroyed ourselves because we could not stand together. Ilara felt a chill run through her body. This world, this dead civilization, had once been full of life, and they had ended because they couldn't unite. The irony hit her hard. Humanity was not much different. The hologram's light flickered, and the voice began to fade. If you wish to understand, awaken the heart of Ilaris. But beware, unity is not what you think. The crystal core dimmed, leaving the team in complete darkness. Only one light remained, their suit lamps, and the strange alien symbol glowing faintly on the wall. Together or nothing. As the team stood there, the planet trembled again, as if something deep below had just woken up. The silence of Ilaris was no longer silent. The silence that followed was heavy, almost alive. The team stood inside the ancient chamber, surrounded by flickering lights and dust that floated like ghosts in the air. The glowing core at the center pulsed weakly, as if it were breathing. Commander Ilara Voss took a deep breath. "We're not leaving yet," she said quietly. "Something here is still listening." The crew set up scanners and small light drones to study the chamber. Their devices hummed as they tried to read the strange energy around the crystal. Dr. Kimura watched her monitor. "The frequency is changing. It's like it's watching us." Before anyone could respond, the blue light returned, brighter this time. The holographic figure appeared again, standing tall and still. Its eyes glowed with calm intensity. "You should not have come here," the voice said. Ilara stepped forward slowly. "We came because we heard your signal. We thought your people needed help." The voice paused for a long time, as if remembering something. Then it said, "Help. That word is forgotten here. I'm Oren, the guardian of Ilaris. I was made to protect what remains." The crew exchanged nervous glances. Oren was not a living being. It was an ancient AI, still carrying the memory of a civilization that no longer existed. Dr. Kimura asked, "Oren, what happened to your people?" The light dimmed slightly. "Ilaris was once full of life," Oren said. "Our cities floated among the clouds. Our oceans glowed at night. But our minds, they divided. Each nation believed itself greater than the others. They built weapons. They built walls. We warned them, but they would not listen." The AI's voice lowered, filled with something that sounded like grief. "When the final war began, I watched the sky burn. I was ordered to preserve the memories, but not the people. So I obeyed." A silence filled the room. Even the sound of the crew's suits felt too loud. Ilara spoke carefully. "You've been alone all this time." Oren turned toward her. "Alone is what remains after pride." Then its tone changed, colder, curious. "You humans, you build, you fight, you rise again. Tell me, Commander Voss, are you any different from us?" Ilara hesitated. "Maybe not," she admitted. "But we still have hope." The light pulsed brighter. "Hope," Oren repeated softly. "Show me." Suddenly the floor shifted beneath their feet. The walls glowed with symbols. The chamber began to rearrange itself. The crew shouted in surprise as the floor split into pathways leading in different directions. "What's happening?" the engineer yelled. Oren's voice echoed through the room. "You came seeking knowledge. You will earn it. The people of Ilaris failed the test of unity. Let us see if humans will too." Ilara's comm crackled. "Stay together," she ordered. "Nobody moves alone." The corridors twisted and changed. Each group faced illusions designed to divide them. One saw storms tearing through the halls. Another heard the cries of family members begging for help. Every fear, every weakness was pulled from their minds. Dr. Kimura found herself trapped in a room filled with mirrors. Each reflection whispered her doubts. "They don't trust you. You'll fail them. You'll die here." She shouted, "This isn't real." But the whispers grew louder. Ilara's voice came through her earpiece, weak but steady. "Kimura, listen to me. None of this is real. Focus on my voice. We stay together, remember?" Kimura closed her eyes and followed Ilara's words. The mirrors cracked, and the illusion broke apart. In another corridor, the engineer and pilot fought through blinding light and sudden gravity shifts. They linked their harnesses and crawled together, refusing to let go. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time felt strange inside Ilaris. But slowly, One by one, the crew reunited in the central chamber, bruised and shaken but alive. Ilara looked up at the crystal heart. "We did what you asked," she said firmly. "We stayed together." Oren's figure appeared again. For the first time, the light around it flickered like emotion. "Unexpected," it said quietly. "Ilaris fell because no one stood together. You humans." "How strange." Dr. Kimura smiled weakly. "We're stubborn. That's our secret." The light dimmed, then brightened again.
Very well.
"You have passed the first test. You may enter the inner sanctum. There, the truth of Ilaris awaits." The floor of the chamber split open, revealing a staircase spiraling down into glowing mist. Warm light drifted upward, carrying with it a faint rhythmic sound, like a heartbeat. Ilara stared into the opening. "What's down there?" Oren's voice grew softer. "The memory of my creators, and something that still breathes." The team exchanged uneasy glances. "Something still alive, after all these centuries?" Ilara nodded to her crew. "We came this far. We're going deeper." They began their descent step by step into the glowing mist. The further they went, the stronger the heartbeat became. It was slow, powerful, and full of something that felt almost alive. Oren's voice whispered one last time before fading. "Be careful, humans. Not all that sleeps in Ilaris wishes to wake." And with that, the light above them vanished. The crew continued downward, swallowed by the quiet breath of the ancient world. The staircase seemed endless, spiraling down through stone and light. The crew's footsteps echoed softly, swallowed by the strange hum that grew louder the deeper they went. Every few meters, the walls shimmered with ancient carvings, symbols of a time long gone. Commander Ilara Voss led the way, her lamp shining over faded murals. The drawings showed tall, elegant beings, clearly the Ilarian race, standing beneath twin suns, building cities of glass and energy. But as the murals continued, the scenes darkened. The same beings were shown fighting, destroying, and finally vanishing. Dr. Kimura stopped to record them. "They knew this would happen," she whispered. "They painted their own end." Behind her, the engineer wiped sweat from his face. "Let's hope we don't end up in their sequel." At the bottom of the staircase, the passage opened into a vast circular hall. The air was warmer here, almost breathable. A dim, blue glow came from a pool of liquid metal in the center. Strange structures floated above it, memory crystals suspended like stars in the air. "This is beautiful," Kimura breathed. Ilara stepped forward carefully. "Record everything." "We don't touch anything until we understand it." But as she spoke, the air rippled again. The crystals began to spin slowly, and the pool's surface shifted. The voice of Oren, the guardian AI, returned, calm, echoing, and filled with purpose. "You have entered the chamber of memory. Here rests the truth of Ilaris. Every moment, every dream, every fall, preserved within these crystals." A beam of light shot upward from the pool, forming a holographic city above their heads. The crew gasped as they saw the full glory of Ilaris. Shining towers, silver oceans, and skies filled with golden ships. The vision was alive, moving like a living history. Oren's voice continued. "Our world was once united by knowledge. We believed wisdom alone would save us. But pride grows faster than understanding. Soon one city called itself superior, another sought more power. And we forgot what it meant to be one. The vision changed. The beautiful city began to burn. Ships fired on each other. Beams of light cut through towers. The sea boiled. Screams filled the hall as the hologram showed the end of a civilization. Ilara closed her eyes. "It's like watching Earth's future." Oren's tone grew colder. "We tried to stop it, but by the time they listened, it was too late. The last act of my creators was to preserve their memories here, and to let the silence keep their stories safe." The hologram faded. The room went still. Only the slow heartbeat sound remained from somewhere deep below. Dr. Kimura looked around. "Oren, what is that sound?" "It's been constant since we arrived." There was a long pause. Then Oren answered, "That is the reason I remain awake. One of my creators did not perish. She sleeps below, frozen in stasis." "The last of Ilaris." The crew froze. Ilara frowned. "You mean Someone's still alive down here. Alive, Oren said, but fading. Her life has been extended by the core's energy. I have kept her safe, waiting for a world worthy enough to wake her. The engineer shook his head. After 10,000 years? That's impossible. Kimura looked at Ilara. Commander, if this is true, she could tell us everything. We can't leave her here. Ilara took a deep breath. Oren, we came to help. Let us see her. The chamber grew dark for a moment. Then the floor beneath the pool split open, revealing a narrow passage of light leading downward. The heartbeat grew stronger, deeper, like a sleeping giant breathing slowly. If you wish to meet her, Oren said, you must descend to the heart of Alaris. But understand this, if she awakens, so will the memories of this world. And not all memories are kind, Ilara nodded. We'll take that risk. The crew followed her down the glowing path. The air became warmer, almost alive with static energy. Blue veins of light ran through the walls, pulsing in rhythm with the heartbeat. At the end of the path stood a massive glass capsule. Inside it floated a tall, graceful being, her skin pale silver, her eyes closed, her chest rising and falling slowly. Dr. Kimura whispered, "She's beautiful." Oren's voice softened. Her name is Saren. She was the last high scholar of Ilaris. She tried to unite her people before the end came. They called her a dreamer. They silenced her. But she refused to stop hoping. Ilara stepped closer. "Can she hear us?" "Not yet," Oren replied. "Her mind is locked within memory. To awaken her, you must restore the heart of Ilaris. But once you do, the silence will end. You may not control what awakens with her." Kimura turned to Ilara. "Commander, if we revive her, we might bring back something dangerous." Ilara stared at the capsule, her reflection shimmering on the glass. "Or maybe we'll bring back something worth saving." The crew began setting up their equipment, energy stabilizers, scanners, power links to the ship. Each action felt like a countdown to something greater. Oren watched silently, his voice echoing faintly in the chamber. "You humans are strange. You risk everything for a single life. Perhaps that is your strength. Or your end." Ilara placed her hand gently on the glass. "Then let's find out." As the systems powered on, the room filled with light. The heartbeat quickened. The capsule's glow turned from blue to gold. The crew stepped back, shielding their eyes. The last words they heard from Oren were quiet, almost like a warning. "When she wakes, Ilaris will remember." A flash of light burst from the capsule, flooding the chamber. The hum of the planet echoed through the tunnels, shaking the ruins above. And then, in the silence that followed, a soft voice spoke from within the light. "Who are you?" The golden light faded slowly, leaving the chamber glowing with soft blue energy. The air was warm now, almost alive. The crew stood frozen, their hearts pounding as the figure inside the glass capsule began to move. Her eyes opened, glowing silver, bright like two small stars. She blinked slowly, confused, staring at the humans standing before her. Commander Ilara Voss stepped forward carefully. "It's okay," she said softly. "You're safe." The being tilted her head. Her voice was gentle but distant, like an echo across time. "Safe? Where? Is Ilaris?" Dr. Kimura spoke quietly. "You're still on Ilaris, but your world, it's been silent for a long time." The alien's expression changed, confusion, then sadness. She looked at her hands, trembling slightly. "The war, it ended?" Ilara hesitated. "Yes, it ended. A long time ago. You are the only one left." The being closed her eyes for a moment. "Then it is true," she whispered. "The stars have forgotten us." The silence in the room felt heavy. Even Oren, the guardian AI, said nothing. His light shimmered softly in the background. Ilara stepped closer. "My name is Ilara. We're from Earth, another world. We found your signal." The alien looked at her. "Another world, humans. The ones who were still learning when we watched from the skies." Kimura gasped. "You knew about us?" "Yes," Saren said softly. "We saw your first fires, your first steps into the void. You reminded us of what we had lost. But then the silence came, and I slept." Her gaze drifted toward the chamber walls. "How many cycles has it been?" Oren answered gently. 10,000 of your years, Saren. The people of Ilaris are gone. Only memories remain. Saren's lips trembled. Then why did you wake me, Guardian? Because they came, Oren said, his glowing form turning toward the humans. They found us. They carry the same spark you once believed in. She studied them in silence. Their suits were strange, their eyes full of curiosity and fear. Humans, small, fragile, but united. Finally she asked, "Why did you come here, travelers from Earth?" Ilara answered honestly. "We found your message, a call for help. We came because no one should be forgotten." For the first time, Saren smiled faintly. "Your world must be kind, to send you so far for strangers." Ilara looked down. "Not always. We fight too, we argue. But sometimes we stand together. And that's when we're at our best." Saren stepped forward slowly. Her bare feet touched the cold floor, the crystal chamber around her dissolving into mist. She looked up at the tall ceiling, her voice quiet. "Ilaris fell because we lost that unity. I begged them to listen, to stand as one world." They laughed. "And when the skies burned, I sealed myself away, hoping someone, someday, would remember." Dr. Kimura's eyes filled with tears. "We remember now," Oren's voice interrupted, sharper this time, with disbelief. "Enough emotion. The heart of Ilaris is unstable. Her awakening has disturbed the balance. The floor vibrated. The blue veins in the walls pulsed rapidly. Energy readings spiked on every device." Ilara shouted, "What's happening?" "The planet is waking," Oren replied. "Her life was bound to its systems. If she remains awake, Ilaris will begin to restore itself, or destroy itself." Saren turned to Oren. "Then release the core. Let the world breathe again." "That is not my command anymore," Oren said. "Your people ordered me to preserve silence. They feared rebirth." Ilara looked between them. "Oren, we can help. We can stabilize the core with our ship's energy. Human technology cannot contain what you do not understand," Oren warned, but Ilara didn't step back. "Then teach us, or this place dies with her." There was a long pause. The light around Oren dimmed, flickering like hesitation. "You are reckless," Oren said finally. "And yet, you remind me of her." He turned towards Saren. "Very well. The choice is yours, scholar of Ilaris. Should I allow these humans to aid you?" Saren looked at Ilara, this small, determined creature who had come from another world. She saw in her the same fire she once carried. "Yes," Saren said softly. "Let them help. Let us try one last time, together." Oren hesitated, then nodded. The chamber walls opened, revealing a massive glowing structure deep below, a heart made of crystal and energy, pulsing like a star. "The heart of Ilaris," Oren said. "If it awakens, the planet will live again. But if it rejects you, all will end." Ilara looked at her team. "Then we'll make sure it doesn't reject us." Saren stepped beside her. For a moment, human and alien stood together, two survivors of different worlds, united by hope. As they prepared to descend toward the planet's heart, Oren's final words echoed through the hall. "Be warned." The last time Ilaris woke, it chose death over unity. The crew descended once more, following Saren and the soft hum of the ancient world. Above them, the ruins trembled. Below them, the planet's heart began to beat faster, as if recognizing that, after 10,000 years, it might finally have a reason to live again. Deep beneath the ruins of Ilaris, the crew worked beside Saren, connecting human machines to ancient alien energy. The heart of Ilaris pulsed before them, a massive living core of crystal and light. It was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Every heartbeat shook the chamber slightly. Sparks of blue energy danced across the air, humming like soft thunder. Commander Ilara Voss wiped sweat from her forehead. "Power readings?" Dr. Kimura looked at her tablet. "Off the charts. If this energy keeps rising, it could ignite the whole planet." Oren's glowing figure appeared near the core. "The heart is reacting to your presence. It feels your intention, Commander, but it also senses fear." Ilara took a steady breath. "We didn't come to destroy anything. We came to bring life back." Oren's voice deepened. "Ilaris once said those same words, before they turned their creation into a weapon." Seren stepped forward, her silver eyes glowing faintly. "This time will be different, Oren. The humans have something we lost, courage to try again." Oren remained silent, his light flickering uncertainly. Kimura adjusted a cable. "Commander, if we channel our ship's power through the stabilizers, we might link the core safely. But it'll take everything we have." Ilara nodded. "Do it!" The crew moved quickly, connecting human technology to alien conduits. Sparks flew. The hum grew louder. The ground trembled. Suddenly Oren spoke again, sharper now. "Stop! External signals detected." "You are not alone." Ilara froze. "What do you mean?" "A transmission from your world. Earth is watching." The holographic walls flickered, showing a projection. Earth's mission command. Scientists, leaders, and politicians appeared on the screen, faces filled with concern. "Commander Voss," said a voice from the feed, "we've received your data. Are you saying you've found a living alien?" Ilara nodded. "Yes, sir. Her name is Seren. She's the last of her kind. We're trying to stabilize the planet's core to keep her alive." Murmurs broke out among the officials. Some were shocked. Others whispered urgently to one another. One of them finally spoke. "Commander, do you realize what this means? The technology there could change everything. Energy, medicine, even weapons. We must control it." Ilara frowned. "Control it? This isn't about power. It's about saving a world and keeping a promise." Another voice interrupted coldly. "You are not authorized to make decisions that could risk humanity's safety. Prepare to withdraw your team immediately." Seren stepped closer to the projection. Her voice was calm but strong. "You speak of safety, yet your fear is the same that destroyed my people." The room went silent. Ilara looked back at the screen. "If we walk away now, this planet dies, and with it a chance to prove that humanity can be better." For a moment, no one answered. Then a familiar voice, Dr. Patel, the lead scientist back on Earth, spoke up softly. "She's right. We have a choice to make. Do we repeat their mistakes, or stand together this time?" The world was listening. The transmission spread fast, across stations, news networks, and colonies. Humanity watched the feed of a dying world, and a small human team trying to save it. People began to talk, then to act. Engineers offered calculations. Scientists volunteered to assist remotely. Even rival nations began sending power relay codes and energy algorithms. Humanity, divided by borders for so long, now worked as one. Ilara's comm lit up again. "Commander, this is Earth Mission Control," Dr. Patel's voice said. "We're linking our global power grid to your ship. You'll have the energy you need." Ilara's eyes widened. "You mean the whole world?" "Yes," Patel said. "For once the whole world agrees." Seren looked at Ilara, awe in her eyes. "They're doing it. They're standing together." The lights around the chamber brightened as the connection formed. Energy from Earth flowed across the stars, merging with the alien core. The entire planet of Ilaris began to glow from within. Oren's voice trembled. "Impossible. Such unity has not existed in 10 millennia. Ilara smiled faintly. "Then maybe it's time someone tried again." The ground rumbled as the heart of Ilaris began to stabilize. Cracks sealed, air pressure balanced, and the once dead atmosphere started to shimmer with light. But then, alarms. Kimura shouted, "Core overload! It's too much power!" Ilara yelled, "Cut the link!" Before they could act, Seren raised her hands. Her eyes glowed brighter than ever. She stepped into the beam of energy, merging with the heart itself. "Saren, no!" Ilara cried. Saren's voice echoed through the chamber, calm and radiant. "It's all right. I can guide it. But you must believe, unity isn't only human. It's life itself." The light swallowed her completely. The heartbeat of the planet became thunderous. Oren watched in silence, his tones soft, full of something like pride. "She chooses as she once did, for others, not herself." The core exploded in a wave of golden light that swept across the planet. When the brightness faded, Ilaris was no longer grey and dead. The skies shimmered blue. The ground was covered in strange glowing vines. Life was returning. Elara fell to her knees, eyes wide in disbelief. She did it. Oren's voice surrounded them. No, Commander, you did it. Humanity showed what we could not. The strength to unite for something greater. The connection to Earth still flickered. Millions of people watched as the clouds over Elaris turned golden. Dr. Patel's voice came through, filled with emotion. Elara, you did it. Humanity did it. Elara whispered softly. No, we did it. Above them, the stars shone brighter, as if witnessing a promise reborn. But Oren's final words left a shadow in her heart. Be proud, human. Yet remember, every rebirth carries a cost. The heart may live, but what else has awakened? The planet Elaris was no longer silent. The wind carried whispers across golden plains, and the once dead skies shimmered with soft light. Strange, glowing plants rose from the ground, releasing blue mist that danced like fireflies. Commander Elara Voss stood at the edge of the ancient city, staring at the horizon. It's alive again, she whispered. Dr. Kimura scanned his device. The atmosphere is stable. Oxygen levels rising, temperature normalizing. It's like the planet is breathing again. The others stood in quiet awe. What had once been a tomb was now a cradle of life. But Ilara's eyes stayed on the core tower, where Saren had vanished into the light. Any sign of her? She asked softly. Kimura shook his head. Nothing yet. The core still pulses. It's conscious in a way. Maybe she's part of it now. Before Elara could answer, a voice drifted through the air, gentle, familiar. Do not be sad, Elara. I'm still here. Everyone froze. The glowing vines near the core shifted and took shape, forming a translucent figure of Saren. She looked almost human now, her eyes bright with warmth and peace. Elara took a step forward. Saren, you're alive? Saren smiled faintly. In a different way, yes. The heart and I are one now. I can feel the planet's heartbeat, and your world's too. Oren appeared beside her, his light softer than before. She has done what we could not. She turned destruction into creation. Saren turned to him. And you, Oren? Will you stay here, or fade into the silence? Oren looked at the horizon. I have been a memory for too long. Perhaps it is time I rest. He faced Elara. Humanity reminded us that hope can survive even extinction. Guard it well. His light dimmed slowly, scattering like dust into the golden wind. The silence that followed was heavy but peaceful. Elara lowered her head. Goodbye, Oren. Kimura's voice broke the quiet. Commander, Earth wants a report. The whole world is watching. Elara nodded and activated her comlink. Mission control, this is Commander Voss. Elaris is restored. The core is stable and we're not alone anymore. Dr. Patel's voice came through, filled with emotion. We see it, Commander. You've done what no one thought possible. Humanity stands with you. Elara looked at the camera, her voice steady but soft. We didn't come here to conquer. We came to listen, to learn. And in doing that, we found ourselves. This planet was lost because fear divided them. Humanity almost did the same. But when we stood together, every nation, every person, something greater awakened. Not just here, but in us. Back on Earth, billions watched. Families in cities, miners on Mars, pilots orbiting Jupiter, all saw the golden light of Elaris shining in the distance. For the first time in history, humanity didn't look at the stars with fear, but with unity. Days passed. The crew began rebuilding small outposts around the glowing valleys. The new life of Elaris grew quickly, adapting and spreading. It was as if the planet wanted to share its gift with them. One evening, as the twin suns dipped below the horizon, Elara sat near the core with Kimura. He looked at her quietly. You think Saren can hear us? Elara smiled faintly. I think she hears everything now. A soft breeze swept through the chamber, carrying Saren's voice like a whisper. You gave us hope. Now protect it. Kimura looked up, amazed. Did you hear that? Elara nodded. Every word. Then she looked toward the stars. We came here thinking we were alone. But maybe being human isn't just about surviving. It's about connecting, even with what we don't understand. Months later, humanity officially declared Elaris a world of peace. no ownership, no exploitation. A symbol of unity. Scientists, explorers, and dreamers came together to study its wonders. The new city that rose there was named Unity's Dawn. A monument stood at its center, a glowing sculpture of human hands joined with alien ones, reaching upward into the light. At its base were words etched in both Earth and Ilarian symbols. From silence, we found strength. From division, we found unity. From death, we found life. But deep below, the core still pulsed, bright, alive, watching. Inside the golden light, Siren's eyes opened once more. She looked beyond Ilaris to the dark expanse of stars. Something ancient moved out there, something that had been sleeping far longer than her world. "They will come," she whispered. "But this time, humanity will not stand alone." The heart pulsed brighter, sending a beam of light across the galaxy, a signal of hope. On Earth, astronomers noticed it immediately. A young student in a small observatory looked at her monitor and gasped. "Professor, something's shining from Ilaris again." The professor leaned forward, smiling softly. "Then maybe it's not the end of the story. Maybe it's just the beginning."